Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 8 of the Renegade of Wrestling. I am your host, JJ Williams, and I'm back, bitches. That's right. Now, 2 weeks ago, I brought you episode 7 from the line of the Chris Jericho signing. A couple things have happened in the last couple weeks, which is why I haven't been here to bring you an episode. I was sick, my daughter was sick, and I didn't want to be here in front of the camera if I wasn't at 100% for you, the fans. That being said, first thing I'm going to talk about is the Chris Jericho book, Undisputed. If you haven't read it yet, what the fuck are you waiting for? Get your ass out, go to Borders, buy it because it's like 30% off right now because they're going out of business. Buy Undisputed. That book is mad fruit. Now, for those of you that don't get it, I'm not going to explain to you what fruit is until the show after WrestleMania. But for those of you that are in the know, that have read it, you know that book is mad fruit. And I make a pledge out there to all the Jerichoholics that watch my show. Let's try and give Chris his wish and make fruit a part of the everyday vernacular, or verbal lingo, if you will, and use it on a regular basis. Because the term fruit is fruit. And you know it. On to regular business at hand. Victory Road was last night. That's all I really got to say about that. Victory Road was god-awful. It felt like I watched an episode of Impact, but paid $40 for it. Luckily, I didn't pay. I went to Justin.tv and watched it for free, but I still feel like I wasted 3 hours of my time. Matt Hardy and AJ Styles and the Ultimate X match were the only two good things about the show. Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer was good 13 years ago when they were in ECW. You know, Ink and Beer Money had potential to be an awesome tag title match. TNA had an opportunity to put the belts onto Inc. and take the tag team division a new way, but they kept them on Beer Money. They're tried and true standard bearers. I don't get that, but whatever. Angelina Love and Winter lost the TNA knockout titles to Sarita and Rosita. I'm kind of torn about this one because I like Sarita and Rosita, but I love me some Winter. I could care less about Angelina Love. She looks like a $2 crack whore that I can find on the corner of PCH and Eximino at 3 o'clock in the morning. Winter is actually talented. So, you know. Jeff Hardy versus Sting? 90 seconds? Really? Really? Let me get this on record. From the day that I got into pro wrestling, I was one of the biggest Jeff Hardy fans that you could ever meet. I probably was the biggest Hardy fan until I met my former co-host on a Hardy Conversation, Chris Hardy. And he blew me out of the water as a Hardy fan. But Jeff Hardy, you are slowly killing yourself, man. I cannot stand behind what you're doing to your body anymore. I will not stand behind it. In fact, from this day forward, you will not hear me boast and brag about Jeff Hardy. I still may have to talk about him on the show. Because, you know, if he wins the title or goes to jail, it's going to be newsworthy, so you're going to hear about it. But you will not hear me brag about Jeff Hardy anymore. I officially wash my hands of Jeff Hardy with this episode right here. Okay? I do not want to turn on my computer, you know, in a week and see Jeff Hardy found dead in his Cameron, North Carolina house. Drug overdose. Because that's where you're leading, Jeff. Seriously. Over to the WWE. Raw and SmackDown have pretty much been, you know, standard lately. Everyone's getting ready for WrestleMania. By far, John Cena and The Rock have been stealing the show each week. What's this you say? The Renegade is talking bad about Jeff Hardy and he's praising John Cena? What the fuck is happening here? Is hell freezing over? No. John Cena is just going back to what made me like him in the first place. It's been well documented I'm not the hugest John Cena fan. It's been documented that I'm not the hugest Rock fan anymore because I feel like John Cena feels that The Rock turned his back on us. I'm not going to lie. When Rocky came out in Anaheim and cut his promo, I marked out. I had goosebumps going up and down my arms. But the very next week, when The Rock didn't show up, he proved John Cena's point all along. The Rock has turned his back on us, people. Get over it. In the bottom of my gut, I believe that this program was originally set up to turn John Cena heel. Something we've wanted for the longest time. Rocky, you're turning yourself heel by not showing up. When you come and you breed it via satellite, you prove John Cena's point. I don't know what else I can say to you, Rocky. Or excuse me, Dwayne. I don't know what else I can say to you to get it through your head, Dwayne. Okay? But you're proving John Cena right. And as soon as you make your grand return at WrestleMania, assuming you don't come back before then, you're going to get booed out the building. The Miz will get a bigger pop than you. Hands down. I received a question this past week. One of my friends online asked me who was my favorite Intercontinental Champion of all time. And I had to tell him, I was like, dude, I cannot answer you that question right now. Let me think about it, and I'll answer it on my show this week. So here I am, keeping my word. I'm going to answer that question. There's a lot of things I can use to answer that question. Do I go with the first ever Intercontinental Champion, Pat Patterson? Do I go with the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time, the Honky Tonky Man? Do I go with the youngest Intercontinental Champion, Jeff Hardy? Do I go with the oldest Intercontinental Champion ever, Ric Flair? You know, do I go with Chris Jericho, who's held the Intercontinental title 9 times, the most out of anybody? What do I use to base my opinion? And I thought about it long and hard. It was like, I can't come up with just one favorite. I've got probably about 5 favorite Intercontinental Champions, all from different eras, all of them favorites for different reasons. I'm going to break those down for you right now, in no particular order. Dolph Ziggler. Why are you picking Dolph Ziggler? He's too recent. He can't be your favorite Intercontinental Champion of all time. No, trust me, if I was ranking this, he'd probably be number 5 or number 4. Okay? I like him as Intercontinental Champion because he got it a year late. They missed the boat on him at SummerSlam 2009. He should have beat Rey Mysterio then for the Intercontinental Champion. But for whatever reason, they made him wait. And what happened when they gave him the belt? He freaking dominated with it. Dolph Ziggler is now a Triple Crown champion, folks. Think about it. He defeated Edge for the World Heavyweight Championship via cheap disqualification, granted, but his name is now etched in history books. Dolph Ziggler, World Heavyweight Champion. He was the Intercontinental Champion. And as Nikki, member of the Spirit Squad, he's a former tag team champion. Nick Nemeth, aka Dolph Ziggler, is a Triple Crown champion. A lot of people don't count him as that because he was Nikki as the tag team champion and not Dolph. Same guy though, seriously. That would be like saying that, you know, Hulk Hogan held a title, or Mr. America held a title, but not Hulk Hogan. We all know Mr. America was Hulk Hogan. You know, granted, Mr. America never did hold a title, thank God, but it would be the same thing. You know, it's saying that Triple H and Hunter Hearst Helmsley are 2 different gimmicks. It's the same guy. Same big-ass nose, same long hair, just a different gimmick. So Dolph Ziggler is one of them. Triple H is another one. Triple H I pick because He's one of the few guys that achieved the pinnacle, the WWE Championship, the World Heavyweight Championship, and then took a step back and said, now, you know, in order to help some of the younger guys get over, I'm going to rock the Intercontinental title. That takes a lot of a short ego, for lack of a better term. I can't think of the right way I want to verbalize it, but that shows that Triple H doesn't have the big ego as everyone always knocks him as having, because he was able to take a back seat to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Two-man power trip, let Austin have the WWF title. Trips took the IC title after he was already a 2 or 3 time WWF champion. And then they got the tag titles together and ran with those. So Triple H is on my list. Mr. Perfect, the perfect Intercontinental Champion. Classic matches. I believe he's a 2-time former champion. May he rest in peace. Hall of Famer. Bret Hart. Bret Hart has to be on my list also. And the last name that I'm going to throw out there is the Macho Man. Oh, yeah, dig it! Gotta love Mach and his title reign that culminated at WrestleMania. Ricky Steamboat. I was just talking about that with my friend and I just brain farted, excuse me. Ricky Steamboat beating him, WrestleMania 3, for the Intercontinental title. That about wraps it up for this week. Make sure you're on the lookout Thursday for the all-new Dads of Wrestling with my co-host Jeff Meacham. We'll be bringing you part 2 of our WrestleMania memories, WrestleManias 10s through 18. For now, I am the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, and I will be back next week. I promise. I'll see you then.